Hello friends, welcome to Science with me. My name is Dr. Erica with Rosie Research, and we are in the middle of an amazing Tinkercad Codeblocks Harry Potter themed unit. And so we are making a Mad Eye Moody Eye, a Harry Potter wand, and this 9 3/4 medallion. And if you're a patron of ours at patreon.com/rosieresearch, you can send us your STL files and we will send them all to you, that you can wire up your wand, you can put on your Mad Eye Moody Eye and have fun with this little guy. So in this tutorial we're going to make this 9 3/4 medallion, and to start it off we are going to make a cylinder, and this is going to sort of be the base plate of our medallion. Let's make the radius 40 millimeters, and that will give it a good healthy size for our medallion. It'll fit in the palm of our hand. We do want our sides to be set to 50, and that makes it much more round. And our height, as always, will be 4. And in fact, actually, I think here we will make a height of 3. We'll make it slightly littler, and we're gonna make some edges and whatnot. So if we just put that on the surface, we just have a plain old medallion right there. And we are going to now add in sort of some beveled edges. So we'll make this part into a negative space. That's using that gray piece right there. So not on the color, there's no color to it. It will just be that shaded gray piece. And we'll give this a radius of, let's say, 36, a height of 4, and also 50 sides. And then we're gonna move this up. So if you go over to modify, we can move that shape, and we can move it up in Z by 2. And we can group this together and we'll have a nice little medallion. I'm going to change the color of this to white because all of our projects print in white. Alright, so you can see that there's a bottom to the medallion, but there's sort of this inside bevel. We cut out part of it, and that's where we're going to write our 9 3/4 pieces to it. So to add text, that is a shape. If you come on down here, it's sort of towards the middle, there's this one that says text. And you can hook that in. We'll change the color to white also. And if you click over here, you can see what the text is. So let's make our 9 first. And if you want, you can change some of these things, like you can change what the font looks like. That is totally up to you. We're gonna give our text a height of 3. And when we plug that in, we will see our 9 pop up just like that, which is lovely, but we're going to want to move it over so we have space for the 9 and the 3/4, and so that they can sort of also be centered. So let's do a couple things. Let's scale this, or let's move this. Let's move it by -15 in the X, and nothing in the Y and the Z. And then we'll also scale it. So let's scale it, and we'll make that a little bit bigger. So we'll put X as 1.5 and Y as 1.5, and Z, we can keep that scaling at 1. So when we run it, we should see it come through and get a little bit bigger. So that's quite nice. That's a good size right there. So now we're going to add our 3/4 text. All right, so come over to get your text piece, and in fact, let's make this a little faster. You can throw that away. You can click up here where it's outlined in green, and you can right click and duplicate, and we can duplicate this, and then we can write our 3 right here. And our scale for our 3 is going to be a little bit smaller. Instead of 1.5, let's put it as 0.75, so it'll be half the size of that 9. And in our X direction, we don't want it to go sort of towards the back, we want it to go forward, so we can put X as 10. And we are also going to put this guy as Y as 10, so it moves the 3 up into this area. So let's double check that that's going right where we want it to. And we can do the same thing for our 4, so we can duplicate this right there, and we'll change the text, which is right here in this box, we'll change that to a 4. We'll keep our scaling the same, and our movement, instead of Y as 10, we'll go to Y as -10. Alright, so now we sort of have this 9 3/4, but we do want that line, right? There's no line there, and I think that's going to be kind of nice to have. So we can make the line by just using a box shape. So we can add our box shape, and we'll make this white as well. And that box, we can keep it a width of 20. Let's make it really skinny though, so it'll have a length of 1 and a height of 3. And then we can see what this looks like. And we'll need to move this guy over, so we just need to move this piece over. So let's modify that with a move. And that move will move X to 10 also, and that will center the 3 and the 4 really nicely for us. All right, so there is our final piece right there. And we can either scale this up or down. If you wanted to make it a little bit smaller, you can also scale this in X by a half maybe, but make sure if you do that, that you do it in Y by a half and you just keep Z the way it is. And that will just make it overall a little smaller. Ooh, hang on, we need to create that group first, don't we? So we could create a group and then scale it down. And it'll look like that. This will fit in the palm of our hands. It'll be a lot of fun. You can paint it or color it. You could, if you wanted to, you could add a hole in here to make a keychain. And if you wanted to do that, I'll show you how real fast. You would take a cylinder and you would make that cylinder a hole. And you could probably put a radius of about 2 would be pretty good. That should be a big enough hole for that. And then we're going to need to move it. Let's change our size to 50 like usual. And we'll grab our move button and we'll need to move it up in the Y, and my guess is probably by about 15. So we can make sort of an educated guess at first, and the way you can do that is here's the 0, this is 10 right here, so 15 should put it up right towards where we think we want it. Alright, we can make this a little bit smaller, maybe a radius of 1. But that looks pretty good. If you wanted to have that keychain hole, that'll work too. And then you would want to create the group at the very end so it actually punches that hole through. All right, if you don't want it as a keychain, that's fine. You don't have to do that last little bit. If you do want it as a keychain, you can do this little piece and that will get the hole in there, or you could always drill the hole in later. We hope that you will join us for our other Tinkercad Codeblocks tutorials, especially in our Harry Potter unit. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And let us know what you think. Send us your STL files if you're a patron of ours at patreon.com/rosyresearch, and we will see you soon. Bye, friends.